Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. It's been a little hectic over here today, but we're doing okay. I'm putting on some socks because my feet are freezing. I managed to take a shower. Wow. Go Bears. That's what's going on with me. Tell me what is going on with all of you. Let me see who's here and say hi. I am so sorry. Hi, Rebecca. Yes, it's me getting ready. Felice is here. Marianne is here. Awesome. Oh, Maria's here. Yay. Felice. Hi, hi. Hello, everyone. Hi, Rabbi Roz. Oh, the gang's all here. It's so nice. Excited to see those swatches. Ordered cocoa and whiskey. Those look to be the best for my cool undertone, even though I am fair to light. Hi, Felice. Yes. One of the things that we talked about when we did this the other day, when I didn't have that other shade, was that lots of times we buy bronzers that are far too dark because of the undertone. And actually, I've been playing with these a lot. I played with them in natural light today, and I am feeling like I have a decent feeling about what's going to work for who, and some comparisons if I have them, happy to do. Otherwise, hit Rebecca up. She's good with the swatches. Okay. I want to start out by just saying hi. Does anyone have anything like that they're dying to tell us? Did anybody try to pick these up? Have you seen them out yet? Tuesday is launch day. I know that she has sent some of these out in PR. It is so weird that when you put these on your table, they like fly away from each other. And it's very hard to like keep them from like moving if they're not in some kind of a container. Okay. I'm taking off my watch. Yes, I have a bruise on my arm. This happens to me because I'm on aspirin. Let me take off this bangle. The other ones are going to have to stay. Okay. Okay, we talked about like real life versus what it looks like on camera. I have my lights on today on what would be like daylight. So if it's too much light or not enough light, I need to know. And I will be kind of looking into this mirror that's over here. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. And we'll figure that out as we go. Okay, I want to start out by swatching, because you guys know I'm a great swatcher. The Olay color, as it turns out, in real daylight, this color works for me in a no makeup kind of a contour. So this is the lightest shade now. And what I have found with these in playing with them is that a lot of this has to do with the other things that you have on. Oh, there's more people here. Hello, Molly. That happens with the Westman Atelier lipsticks too. It must be something with the strength of the magnets. They're I can't figure it out. They like fly off the table. They are repellent. It's funny, but it's not funny. Like I want to grab a little, some kind of, I don't know, basket, or we'll work with it. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I want you to see Olay. It's light, but I like it, and I'm keeping it because I think this is one that is going to just sort of set the rest of your face off like if you're running out the door with very little makeup on. Hello, Holly. Nice to see you. Okay, so that is Olay. According to her order of things, whoa, Biscuit is the next in line. So we are going to put Biscuit on here. And what I'm going to do after I do this is I'm going to wind up blending these so that we can like see them better. But I want to get some nice swatches on first. Okay, so that is Olay and this is Biscuit. And Biscuit is the one that most of us have been probably living with in our regular life. And you can see that next to each other, you could see where they kind of have that same tone to them. Where it starts to get interesting is when we start getting into these new shades. The next one in order of things, even though this is the one that I did not have the other day, before I hit my husband's car in my driveway, my son went to go pick this up for me. Just saying, kind of nice. So this is Toast. And before you start saying, oh my God, that's so orange, it's not. Blend it out. This color has a nice amount of red to it. I gotta go up higher here. The colors start to get interesting. Next one I'm putting on is Cocoa. To me, this one seems the most bronzer on me, like such a good bronzer color. But you can see it's redder than this one, but this has more of a tan tone rather than a tan sunburn tone, if that makes sense. The next one is Whiskey. Now they all look like they're very dark right now. Why can I not make a swatch that is normal? Okay. Olay, Biscuit, Toast, Cocoa, Whiskey. Even Toast could make a nice bronzer. Toast isn't orange, but it has more orange than Cocoa. Okay, I thought so too. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep these on here, and even though it's not great, I'm going to swatch on the other arm because I want to show you what these look like blended out. I think it's an important thing to see. So let me put them on awkwardly with my wrong hand. And I'm basically going to put like a circle so that I can show you as they blend what happens to them. Just going to put a little less of it on so that it actually does blend. The formula, you guys, is exactly what you're all thinking. It is that really nice, easy to blend. None of the colors feel different or weird to me. You know, sometimes when they have to get into different tones, they have to use different ingredients and they're slightly different. So they behave a little bit differently on the skin. And these really do not change. Okay, let me take down this comment for a second. Okay. I know that my bracelet's kind of in the way and I'm going to have to like go sideways here, but I want to blend these so that you can really see undertone. And we're going to look at them not in relationship to each other eventually, but they really do blend beautifully. And you'll see Toast is very neutral. It is not orange, but it doesn't have that same violet quality that I found Cocoa to have. I kept trying to think of a word to describe it, and it's almost like more nutty. So when you blend them out like this, nothing is darker or deeper than any other color. And I think the important thing to remember is that these all blend to this. So, I mean, I really need to like contort or something. But in relation to each other is also in relation to what is going to be your contour and what is going to be your bronzer. And what I've decided is that I don't even know that I do that anymore, as much as my face needs shape. And it needs shape pulling this further up, getting away from putting things down here or on an angle here because it like makes me look ridiculous. This is really going to help a lot because it really is going to come down to undertone. Let's see if I can blend these by just kind of taking a little bit of it off. Okay. So what happens to these colors when you blend them is that the depth, the amount of pigment, I think is what I'm trying to say, is going to be controllable. You have the ability, I mean, I don't have the darkest shades. I have the couple of them in powders that we can look at in relation to it. But I think most of us are sculpting now, and we either want it to look like our bone structure is good or that we've gotten a little sun. For me, in January in Chicago, I am about the sun. It really does, Marianne. I don't use both bronzer and contour. I use a contour or a cool tone bronzer to chisel and warm up the face. Just one product that goes with the rest of my face and eyes. And I do think that we have sort of moved to that. I feel like there's a lot of brands out there that are doing like a bronzer idea. And with Gucci's line before, with Westman Atelier, she really didn't give a lot of options, but I think people were okay with that. The one thing that I'm finding is that the further back I go when I'm going to chisel out parts of my face. Instead of going in the hollow, I am actually going up here. And then my blush placement tends to be here. And then I like to have a little bit of a white space and then shortening the forehead and kind of pointing to this area that's here with whatever it is that's warming me up. And warming me up is going to be relative. I'm going to do this as much as possible with as many different comparisons as I can. They're flying off the table. Okay, there's going to be no more flying. We're going to stay in a basket and repel each other. Okay. Hi. I think bronzer and almost blush for contour. Yeah, like what I've read that we're going to be seeing a lot of is we're going to be seeing a lot of K-beauty. We're going to be seeing a lot of you have to do something and prove it in order to be a product that we're buying this year. We'll talk all about that. But as you can see, it is not about depth of color. And I learned that from bronzers that I like. Just my example was this Armani in 120 because it has the right undertone. So I'm going to show you what each of these looks like on me as a sculpt. And then I'm going to add a color with it to show you like the chisel. And if there's something that you want to see that I'm not doing, let me know. This is going to be an exchange. I will compare these to whatever colors I have here, and we're just going to kind of like make it work. So I want to show you, and it's definitely harder to see because we kept thinking that this wasn't showing up, the Olay. In real life, if I want to look just a little bit chiseled, Olay is really nice for that. And I was thinking about people like Becky, like Holly, who said, you know, they haven't really found their true bronzer color, that it's never really happened. This, I'm going to do up here, just to show you. I like a little bit of it back here because this is where I like to concentrate it. I'm going to shorten my forehead a little bit and put a little bit here. And if I have to go back in with some bronzer, I will. So if I do this and really concentrate on going up, I know it doesn't show completely on camera. By the way, on my eyes, just so everybody knows, it's that Patrick Ta 6-pan. I wanted to keep it as neutral as possible, so I just kind of like used the neutrally tones just so that it wouldn't have like a lot of influence over this. And as I build this up, you can see that my face now has shape. And it's like normal in person. It just looks like my face has shape. And I could go on and put makeup on with it. Cocoa reminds me of Ritual Defee's Cream Pigment Intuition. It's got a purple undertone. It reminds me of Bois. I would love a comparison to Toasted Teddy from Rhode Island. I don't know if I have Rhode Island. Rhode really has an island? Oh, Toasted Teddy. Toasted Teddy. Duh. Okay. From Rhode. Okay. That I can do. We'll do comparisons as soon as I'm done. Which one do you think reminds you of Omen and Ritual Defee? I don't have it. The one from Ritual Defee that I've always looked at is that gray one, and it's always just, I've just decided it's too vampire-y for me. Love the colors. You could really use all of them for different occasions. Weirdly, I'm keeping them. And it's a choice. I don't know if there is one like Omen. Omen is a deeper version of Cocoa. There's at least one new color of the Westman Atelier that's darker that Michelle doesn't have. Yeah, it's the darkest though. It's the one that is for somebody with incredibly dark skin. Okay, let's just say for whatever purpose that this Olay is on here. For somebody who uses, let's say, Biscuit, to kind of warm up the face. I'm just putting a little of this on this Shoto 5. If I use a little bit of Biscuit here, and kind of keep the carve at Olay, you can see that that gives me a really nice neutral sculpt that isn't a tan. Like, I wouldn't go as far as to say that I have a suntan, but if I went in now and put on some blush and, you know, some highlighter, this is going to look in real life very pretty and soft. It's just a soft, non-bronzery sculpt that works with my winter skin. Not Rhode Island. The darkest, deepest one that they have, let me just pull this up. Is that cola shade, and it is just not going to work for me. And the reason why I know this If I can just use the powders for a second to show you Truffle and Ganache with these. Okay, so this is Truffle. Just want to really make sure you guys can see these. This is Truffle and Ganache. And I am really getting into like muddy territory over here. And this just pulls too warm in Truffle for me. So Cola, I think will have a red undertone, but I think you're going to need to be way past medium light. I think you're going to need to be at least medium dark, at least. There was Ganache and Cola, but I can't tell what the undertones are. Okay, so I'm going to show you because I have pictures, real ones. It would be way too deep on me. Absolutely. Okay. Let me put these over here also, just so we have them. Why are these so hard to open? I'm trying to, there. This will show you how warm Truffle is on me. That is Truffle. And Gucci does describe these, so give me 1 second. Oh my God, it's like I don't even know like how far up my arm I don't have to do this. It's crazy. Okay, so that's Ganache. And that's Truffle. The mud factor is real. And the orangey on my skin tone factor is real. Just so you guys can see that. Now, on her colors, she does call Cola a cool, rich espresso. Let me take myself off. So the bottom one said, we'll go from the top. Olay she calls a cool, nude latte. Biscuit she calls a cool, beige coffee. Toast she calls a neutral pecan. Cocoa she calls a cool mocha. Truffle she says is a warm caramel. Whiskey is a neutral rich fudge. Ganache is a cool dark chocolate. And Cola is a cool rich espresso. What I've decided is that cool and warm, it's relative. And it has to do with how things pull on your skin based on your skin color, the amount of sun you have, how much makeup you're wearing, the undertone of your skin, how many wrinkles you have in a certain place. I just think there's so much that goes into it. Back in 30 of pizza with hubby. I know I'm on bear craziness. This is helping me. I think she describes truffle as warm caramel, which would lean orange or yellow. It is very orange on me. It is. I know this. I can see it. And I can see where these would work for me. Weirdly, caramel doesn't, and this just is too muddy for me. That's what starts to happen with the deeper colors. Let's move on from the Olay. Just because I have another cheek here, I'm going to use it before I have to put more stuff on. I don't know where this cap went. Flying around. It's not a good thing. Did anyone hear it fall? Because, yeah, I really would like to put a cap on it. Okay, not great. Okay, that's not there, but I just found an eyeshadow. All right, we're just going to have to not have a cap on this one, I think. All right, I am going to go on the other side with... Do people want to see Biscuit alone, or are we like skipping straight to Toast? That's the first one I need to know. I wore the Armani powder bronzer in 120 today with a very light hand, and it looked beautiful, and I'm fairer than fair right now. Yeah, we talked about that the other day too. Holly and I both can use Gucci #1. Gucci #1 looks warm next to Olay. I swatched it together and I wore it together. Does anyone want to see Biscuit before we skip to Toast? I need a yay or a nay here. What did I do with this cap? It's like y'all are watching me. I thought I was very organized. Weird. No Biscuit. Okay. Let's go to Toast. Oh, there's two caps on one. Oh, that's so magnetized there. Toast was being a little bit of a cap hog. Okay, I'm going to take Toast right now up here. Now remember, this is going to look like a bronzer on me. A bronzer. You also have to remember I have no blush on. Just to like make it look a more realistic. So that is Toast. I'm trying to do it normal, but deep enough for you to see. It's very natural tan looking for me. This side looks like my face has shape. This side looks a lot more like a tan. And would definitely work. If you wanted to with this one, you could take a little bit of Biscuit, because that's what would be like underneath it, to give yourself what would look like the contour then. Keep it real tight back here. And I mean, it works. Biscuit is so different in undertone than all the other shades. I don't know it would really help. Truffle works fine with me. Good to know. They all are going to work relative to your skin tone. And I think also like the colors that we prefer. Toast could almost be a bronzer on you. You don't even need blush. You will see that with all of these. It's definitely more warm. Like I have warmed up my face, but I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to take this side off, and that's how we're going to progress so that I can show you what things look like relative to each other. So Olay is for the fairest of fair. It works to sculpt. Just real quick. If I take my Gucci bronzer just before I take this off, and I use it with Olay, first of all, look at the tone of this. Yes, it's rosy, but it's not like cool. But this is a true bronzer. So if I wanted to wear the Olay as like my contour, look at how nice that looks with something light to warm up my face like the Gucci. You know? Toast looks very pretty on me, thank you. Westman Atelier should do a big face palette with all the colors. Toast is warmer, but not orange. Yes, it is like nutty. It was the word that kept coming to me. It's like, it's warm, nutty. Kelly, hi. Okay, are we good? I'm going to take off this side. And just to let you guys know, I picked my Suku skin tint because it isn't super heavy, but it hides a lot of like hyperpigmentation and things that I think get in the way. but it's not so heavy that you can't see my skin under it. Like you can see I'm still the same color, but I want to put makeup on with it. So I'm going to just put a little of the little hydration here. So I want everything to behave the same. And just for a little glow, popping through. Can you hear my guys? They must be watching like pre-football. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. This is a great skin tint. It gives more coverage than a lot of skin tints, but it feels like skincare. And it goes on in like 30 seconds. So I love it. And this is number 10. And then just to kind of match it up, I just went in with their concealer. And in their concealer, I am in Cool 01, so C01. All right, we are on with Whiskey. Now, for me, if I had to only pick one, oh, I should have done Cocoa first. Shit, I'm sorry. I'm doing this one because that's what I got on. Sorry. This is Whiskey. And even though it looks like so much when it goes on, it blends out so nicely and just becomes one with my skin. So you can see, so Sorry that I went to the wrong color, but really much more like a sculpt bronzer situation, but a lot more. This I don't love right here. Okay. I'm not missing any comments. Okay. So whiskey by itself. And this is toast. I'm going to take toast off so you can see whiskey with cocoa, because this is interesting. Now, toast can work with either biscuit or Olay if you want to do like that shadow look with it. I know she keeps calling these cool and warm, but I think instead we should really just be talking about undertone. I think it's the most important thing. Now, I like whiskey best as sort of like the carve out when I use the cocoa, but on vacation, whiskey is my jam. I mean, that's going to be vacation all the way. And I would do it with something darker also. Okay. Let's put a little of this on. Okay. We're going to skip the concealer. They repel each other. This is crazy. Okay, this is going to be cocoa. I like what this rougher brush is doing for me. You can see how easily this blends. Like at first I was like, ooh, you know, I shouldn't just go straight to the face, but you totally can. The really important thing to remember when you're doing this is that you don't want to go down into where we really have that where it could be. I just do it right back here just to give the idea of the shape. But you can see I can be really generous with this and still really get that really pretty sculpted look. me back this out a teeny bit. Not in, but out. So that's whiskey, and that's cocoa. I do want to just take a little of this here. On vacation with a little tint would be perfect. Okay. But cocoa, what I found that I absolutely love is that Bois can set this. I'm starting to feel like using regular powders could become a thing of the past. I think we're going to see a lot more people not using powder everywhere, but using it to extend the wear and life of your makeup instead of using another layer of powder. Look at how pretty this is with Bois. Like, it just is that violet color that we love on cool skin tones or olive skin tones. This side is the whiskey, and this side is the cocoa with that little bit. And on this side, I'm actually going to add a little bit of cocoa here, because to me, one of these two is the best combination. That's cocoa just added to the whiskey, where you get this is whiskey again, where I'm just way back here is where you can give people the illusion that you've got those high cheekbones. And then, of course, hitting yourself down here because we want to hide all the things that are happening down here. Let me back up a little. Maybe that's a little too much. Whiskey with cocoa. Cocoa with Bois. Cocoa looks way deeper than whiskey on camera. I have to use powder everywhere. I think what I'm saying is we can use different powders everywhere. Like if you powder set your blush, there really is no reason to go on top of it again with powder unless you're trying to blend something out. Like you can use powder in the other places and you don't have to do both. You love cocoa. All right, let me take this off. You're oily, Maria, so that makes it perfect. Makes perfect sense. I'm combo and also need powder everywhere, every day. I'm not saying don't use powder. I'm just saying some of these you can count the powder that you're using. Like, I took out all the Westman Atelier powders. These can be used in conjunction with the creams to help set things. Okay. Let's think real life. Okay, good hydration. I still love the Ceracryl emulsion. Take a little bit of this. This is like the easiest thing to put on. Trying to avoid having to add concealer. All right, you guys, we got a clean slate here. Tell me what combinations you would like to see. And I can incorporate Ganache, Truffle. I have all the Westman Atelier powders, so if you're a Suede Sable person, I can do that. You could do that for sure. I just worry that over creams, my powder, bronzer, and blush will stick to certain spots more than others. So if I use both cream and powder, bronzer, and blush, I do powder twice. Whatever works for you. I was just thinking about the fact that I look better in less makeup right now. And there's some great powders out there. I'm just saying, if you can get away with setting certain things with that powder cream combo, I think it stays really nice, especially if you have something on that's self-setting. But to keep oil control, I'm not even going to pretend I can speak to that, because that ship has sailed over here. But I was that. Some people would love to use Biscuit with Biscuit. You know, like you can do that. You can do that with Ganache. And I truly think that the Suede Sable, like if you were going to use Toast or Truffle, you know, you could kind of use one of these powders. She has these beautiful blurring powders. And I know she has a regular powder also, but I'm just saying, like the Patrick Ta, I think you can extend the wear of the blush with the powders together if you wanted to. Okay, tell me what you want to see. Tell me what combination you want to see. I'm happy to take requests. Like I can do like a Biscuit Olay kind of situation over here. And I can do more of the cocoa whiskey over here if you wanted to see the ideal combinations that I think work the best. I can do a toast biscuit. You guys let me know what you want to see. Less powder, better fit for texture and wrinkles. Lots of things are, right? I can also combine this with other powder bronzers if you would like. Let me show you since nobody's requesting. On this side, I'm going to go with, I'm going to start with a little bit of the biscuit, and I'm going to warm it up with the toast, since those kind of stack together. Okay. When you use Biscuit, is more of my sculpt. Okay. I like to keep it very far back. Okay, so that is just Biscuit. Now, if I want to turn this into also a bronzery look for me, I can go with Toast. I'm going to take Toast just with my fingers because I like the way this product melts with fingers. I mean, I think you can see this would be just a very neutral kind of bronzy look. And Biscuit, in comparison to this, gives you that sculpt because it is the next one down and it's cooler. That's why I wish you would call these sculpting sticks, because based on who you are and what color your skin is and your skin undertone, you can wear these in lots of different ways. I don't feel like there should be so many rules. You're back. Which one's the 11? Holly, I want to show you after this round, I want to show you Olay with Biscuit or Cocoa because I think you'll like it. I was watching another creator who was demonstrating that they no longer bring contour or bronzer under their cheekbones. I wish I could remember who, but maybe it's a new thing. Again, when you wear those two together, I don't think you need blush. I'll show you what blush looks like with this, just so you can see where it would fit in. So this is the Toast Biscuit side. Over here, I am going to use I can go Cocoa Biscuit or Cocoa Whiskey. Tell me. One sec. Sorry. Cocoa Biscuit? Okay. This is just Biscuit. I really feel like when you do what used to be that full contour, just keeping it really tight back here is a much better look. when you're trying to have the illusion that things are higher up. Okay, so that is the biscuit part. Now we're going to put on the cocoa. I mean, there's not one thing about this that reads orange on cool skin, and it will not pull orange on an olive tone either, because it's got that violet, that kind of violet vibe. Let me put on a little blush just to show you guys. Let's pick what kind of make it work over here. I'm going to go with Garcon because I think it's kind of a color that it's not warm, it's not cool, it's just sort of in the middle. So that's a little Garcon over here. And I think on this side, I'll put a little Petal. I think a lot of people have Petal. I mean, if I really was like being serious about this, put a tiny little bit of highlighter on. Okay. So we've got this side is the biscuit with the toast. And then this side is the biscuit, cocoa, little Garcon, little Petal. Try cocoa biscuit. I think cocoa blended nicer with the finger and looks so pretty. I can't wait to see them in the store. Tuesday, they will be in Sephora's and Nordstrom. Okay. Holly, Olay in person is so completely beautiful and cool and just like natural, but your face has dimension. I think what happens a lot when we go in with a product like this is that our faces look flat. You know, like if you've evened out your skin tone, generally, at least what I'm finding is that my face lacks definition. It lacks dimension. I just look like a white blob right now. I really like toast on you. I'm sold on Olay and Cocoa for sure. Yes, toast is pretty. Toast and cocoa for you. Okay. Most people already have Biscuit, I'm guessing, because that's what we could get. Okay, because Holly's back, I just want to show you, Holly, how nice Olay is to just get some definition going. And I'm going to pair it with cocoa. And you're going to be like, what? So what I'm going to do is this is really going to be my sculpting. This is going to narrow my forehead. And it's going to make this like under situation. It keeps getting less chiselly looking. This I'm going to keep very far back and up. And this is just forehead shortening. But you can totally see for defining the face. I mean, that does a lot compared to this being so flat looking and this having some shape. And then if I take cocoa, because it seems to be my favorite, and I just go back in with the brush this time instead of fingers. I mean, without overdoing it. Look how pretty that is together. And if you're even a little bit deeper and we have Biscuit, you probably have more than one Biscuit like I do. If Olay doesn't give you exactly what you need, you can go in with a tiny little bit of the Biscuit back here. And you have a cheekbone. These are making me so excited to sculpt again. I know. And I just, like, let me put on a powder blush with this. Let me just take Tulle, because who doesn't love like a beautiful pink? You know, to just kind of light things up for you. And even with a pink here, that could really set off a bronzer and make it look orange. Cocoa does not do that to you. Cocoa lets your tan or your sculpt or whatever the heck you want to call this now, it doesn't turn it orange even with the pink. Can you do a side-by-side with Olay and Biscuit so we can see the difference? Maybe the same thing left side with Biscuit and cocoa. Okay. So you want to see let me do one on this side just because I have it before. Does anybody have like a one side that they want to see? I can show you what Whiskey would look like over here in that like more real natural way, since we've got this side with cocoa and it kind of naturally goes to Whiskey. Let me use Biscuit because people have it and maybe you only want to buy one. This rougher brush for blending things like this is just so quick and easy. Okay, now I got my Biscuit. Should I go toast or should I go whiskey, guys? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. All right, I'll do whiskey over here. Let's give this one a little blush. Oh, these are so hard to open. I'm just going to put a little of the Fluff or the Puff, which one that one is. The Fluff or the Puff. I know this side is more wrinkled. I'll kind of hold this up for you. So this one has the whiskey with the Biscuit, and this one has the cocoa with the Biscuit. Can you compare Olay to the cream blush Mimi with whiskey? Compare Olay. Okay, here's Olay. And then the cream blush Mimi. Yes, I can do that. Olay, Mimi. Whiskey's pretty too. I personally love the way that whiskey and cocoa kind of together go, and then get underneath just with a little bit of Biscuit. And to me, like that's my jam. But I've already bought all of these, and it's ridiculous to think that anybody else should or would. But I think what I want everybody to understand is that it is not about picking, like she said, the one that goes like with your foundation color, because the great thing about her formula is that I really truly think that almost every color can be used on any person because they're formulated to blend so easily and so thinly that really it's kind of your choice. You know, it is an undertone that is the most important thing. And in whatever look you would be doing, I think you're going, I didn't even put on a hydration here. Hold on. I'll throw a little Play-Doh oil on. I really think it's about preference, and I think it's about time of year, and I think it's about the makeup that you want to wear with it and what kind of eye you want to do. I tried to keep things really kind of plain today for you because I want you to be able to see what these are capable of. But see how flat I am now. Again, I'm like flat Stanley, except I'm flat Michelle. Sculpting, I think, is so ridiculously important at our age, my age, however you want to say it, because what tends to happen with me is I sink here. I can't stand this. Forget about even talking about this stuff. And the fact that my face is falling down. I want to lift everything up. So in my perfect world, I take my concealer. I do a dab here and here. Here. Okay. I'm just adding dimension right now, but with the fastest possible hands because the bear game is starting soon. But I want to make sure that I get rid of all my redness. And just without having to put eyeshadow back on again. Just go very neutral here. Okay. Throw on a teeny bit of sparkle just to liven things up a little. Okay, looking kind of normal now, except very flat. What do you want to see? This is the last round before the Bears play. Happy to play this game again later tonight or tomorrow. What do you want to see? And it could be a combination of anything. I'm taking requests. I know that there was one, a side-by-side Olay and Biscuit, so we could see the difference. Okay, so you want to see Olay and Biscuit carving. And then maybe we'll add to each of those like more of the bronzer. Does that work for people? Here is Olay. Just as a sculpt. And again, I think I'm kind of over calling things contour and bronzer because I think the main thing that we're doing is we're giving shape to our face and then we're warming up the skin. Totally two different things. And granted, I know that she's got bronzers, but these are no different because it is just about what you want to see and what you want to accent that day. Sometimes it's like you want to be a bronzed goddess, and sometimes you just want to get out the door and not look dead. And I get it. I do the same. So here is Biscuit that most people own, that most people are used to wearing. I'm never going below. I'm only going above. And you can see this is Olay. Yesterday we were like, where is it? It's disappearing. Not in person. In person, it's very natural looking. Okay. So side by side here we have Olay and Biscuit. It's a vibe. Go Bears. Yes. Gotta run to the grocery store. Holly, you're gonna love Olay. Biscuit looks more gray compared to Olay. Definitely. And if you look at them side by side, side by side, this is Olay and this is Biscuit. And it looks different on my skin than it will on yours because these formulas are so blendable. It's a very, there's so much here to say, you know, about this. The colors and the choices and what you pick with another color is going to change things. Biscuit has never been my favorite. I'm excited to have these new ones to play with. And yeah, I mean, I will show you my If I took whiskey here, this is like my total vacation vibe. Okay. That's whiskey. Here's an interesting one that we haven't seen. Whiskey with toast. Much more neutral with that. Not as much of a sunburn look, but definitely sculpted. And then over here, let's put cocoa. This gives you more of a, on me, of, and I just caught a little too much sun. And this gives me the, yeah, I might have a little bit of a tan. So this is toast. And this is cocoa. And swatch Teddy next to cocoa and toast. Yes. Okay. This is Teddy from Road. And what do you want to see with that? Toast and whiskey. Okay, this is Road. This one is Cocoa. Yes. They're all a lot less orange. You've got toast. Then you've got cocoa and you've got whiskey. But this is way, way warmer. This is much more violet. in the cocoa. This is much more neutral in the toast, and this is just a little deeper with the whiskey. But this is Orange City on me. All right, you guys, I am happy to come back or to send any swatches to you of what you would like to see with what. I think that the biggest takeaway here is think about the undertones. Think about what it is that you want to see under either a tan or as a contour. These are sculpting sticks. I think you can use virtually any of these because of the way they blend. And we all know that her powders are magical too. They have just an amazing ability to blur. And the funny thing about these sticks that I have found is that truly it's going to depend on your preference for what you're looking for, because you can blend these any way you want. So mix and match and use what you have. If you have something that really gives you that good shadow, look for one of these as a bronzer. If you're searching for a bronzer, pick one of these that you feel like the toast will be more neutral, the cocoa will be more violet, the whiskey will be more red. All right, you guys, I got to go watch the kickoff. You never cheer for the Bears, but you will for tonight. Okay, thanks. Thank you for Michelle. Helped me a lot. If there's something that I missed, or you go through your collection and you're like, ugh, can you show me this? I will do it. These are not cheap. These are expensive, and we're only buying the best. And even though I bought several, I skipped Dior completely. I skipped the Hermes foundation because you know what? I'm not in the market for a foundation right now. If and when I am, it will be there. Like, okay, thanks. I know you're there. Great. Right now, I'm loving my Chantecaille, my Suku, my Lisa Eldridge, my Victoria Beckham, my second Suku. I mean, I have so many complexion products to get through. Prada. I mean, Clé de Peau. Enough's enough. I am buying less. These were different because she really went all out. But gosh, don't call them contours. Call them sculpting sticks and pick the ones that are going to work best for you. I love you all. Go Bears. Got to go see what's going on. If anybody wants to come back tonight, DM me. I will. As soon as the game is over, if they lose, I'll get on right away. If not, I'm watching the post game, and I'm just going to getting crazy with the rest of the city. Cleaning this all up later. So anybody who wants to see anything, feel free to send me a DM. Love you all. Go Bears. Bye. Bye.